Ludo there, standing up on the entry to turn 1. Garth?
Well, Mark, I was just looking, that the thing that's grabbed my attention is the amount of engineers out in the pit lane doing their best Neil Crompton impersonation, trying to predict the weather, because the clouds are coming in, and you've made the point over the course of the weekend how UV sensitive this circuit is. They're trying to time their run for this qualifying session when the cloud's going to be over the racetrack, because there is probably 2 or 3 tenths in that. So it's not just finding the right bit of road on the racetrack, it's finding the right bit of weather while you're on the racetrack to set a fast lap time.
And good luck trying to navigate in and around cloud movements. So a little bit of that's just being in the right place at the right time, Garth, as you well know. We had a glimpse there a few moments ago with Charlie Schwerkolt of a legend of Australian motorsport, Colin Bond, former Australian rally champion, Australian touring car champion, Bathurst winner. And he's a good friend of Charlie's, and he's down there in the group at Team 18 keeping an eye. He's a Sydney-sider, so he's come out to have a look at this beautiful property this weekend. There's Bondi on the right, and always good to see he and Robin, his wife, when they attend race meetings, and that guy's credentials are astonishing. When you look at the things he did in just about every type of racing car over a long and distinguished career, we tip our hat to Colin Bond.
100%, even open wheel cars in the early days for Colin Bond. He drove everything, and whatever he put his bum in, he was the best. Remember all those epic races with Bob Morris at Amaru Park in the XU1s, and the great days of the Holden dealer team with he and Brock. They were dominating, and that famous win with Alan Moffat in 1977 at Bathurst is the one too.
Tucked away when I last saw it was a few years ago now, down in Melbourne at Ian Tate's workshop, who was famously connected to the Holden dealer team, is that beautiful little red and white Tirana of Bondi's from back in the early 70s, and it is mint, and if I could sneak in there one night and steal it, I would. Awesome.
Certainly not a rookie, and the combination of he and Brodie Kostecki is very strong, and great stability for next year, because with all those changes that we've been able to document through the course of the weekend, that will be the same lineup for Erebus in 2022.
What we're doing now is we're qualifying for race number 22 of the Repco Supercars Championship, and again, it's a short, sharp, intense session. Will Brown, P1, 28.7. Nice job, good lap time. Car looked very stable. We pick up on Mark Winterbottom for Irwin Racing.
They would have put him second in the previous session.
Okay, great job. Here's his teammate, Brodie Kostecki. Brodie drops into second on a 28.9. They flipped championship positions last night as a result of Brodie's podium. He moved up into 10th, and Will dropped down into 11th, and they've been very close in the recent past. Anton De Pasquale with 2 Armour All poles at this venue already this weekend. We jump on board with him on the hairpin run into turn 8.
See, he left it in 4th, and the difference there was Will Brown actually went up the gear and back again off Corporate Hill. And this is going to be very smart. It's going to be, on our numbers at the moment, a bit better than a 28.5.
Bit of exit oversteer there, Mark, in second gear, but he caught it and he didn't modulate the throttle. Sector splits for him are the best of the field so far, potentially on the provisional pole now for Anton De Pasquale, and he does a 1 minute 28.3. It's just a whisker slower.
Yeah, 100th on his previous one. But more sunlight, for sure. What does Will do? 28.9.
So far, provisional 3 and 4 for the 2 Red Bulls. Cam Waters, what's he got? He just moved up to 9th, but was quickly punted 1 position by Tim Slade. So Tim's now in 9th position. We're riding now, focusing on Chaz Mostert, car number 25. And he was hoping to make enough change to make a decent enough improvement to get him in. And he has also snuck in out of the top 10. Now, he was 8th in that previous session.
Exit is now closed.
Check flags out, session's done. Andre Heimgartner, some cloud cover helping the cause there out of the final corner for him.
So Andre will come up. Percat's also going to finish his lap. Percat's actually slightly faster than Heimgartner. Heimgartner goes up 11 spots to 13th. Percat to finish his lap. What does that do? Fabian Coulthard slightly up, a couple of spots, but only to 20th. Nick Percat up 15 spots to 9th.
We're seeing a little bit of the impact of the slightly clamped quantity of tyres that are allocated through the whole weekend here. So different people are showing some strengths and weaknesses, and that'll be all around what Garth alluded to before of whether or not they've used up their tyre bank. And that's Todd Hazelwood completing his lap. Nice work. 8th position for Todd. He's on the move next year. Dunlop Super Dealer entry, very low, 29 for him. David Reynolds on screen, car number 26. Pitted early last night, got the benefit of the undercut and a nice, good, solid, quiet run inside the top 10 for David. He's ended up being 15th on a 29.4. So I think we're all done and dusted now for Armour All qualifying race number 22. And it's got a little repeat cycle message underneath it, hasn't it? Anton Di Pasquale through practice 1, 2, qualifying 1, 2 and 3. So he's looking very sharp. Well done. Home by a narrower margin, but still hefty. So 0.4 of a second near enough. And another front row start for Will Brown. Well done. So those boys, even though they parked up early, which is a little bit unusual, typically at the end of the session you get a few more fireworks at the back end. Not much happened. So they were able to get their lap time secured, parked up their cars, got back inside the garage and protected their 1-2 position. Jamie Whincup and Shane Van Gisbergen next, and then outside that top 10 that you just saw, Tim Slade, Cam Waters still battling the setup, Jack LeBrock in behind him, his teammate Heimgartner and Reynolds, the teammates, Fullwood, Courtney, Jack Smith, Macaulay Jones, Jacobson, Pye, Goddard, Kostecki and Fabian Coulthard